Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dust with another edition of this week's vlog. It's been a better week than last week. Of course, it's only been about 5 days since I last recorded a vlog. And just to know, we are doing better mentally and physically. But in hindsight, when we realize that we have to do what we have to do, things sort of turn out for the better, and that we know we have to do better. Sometimes it's just being autistic and accepting who we are, regardless whether we think it's something we like to do or not, or be a part of or not, or just understanding who as we are as an autistic person, and that being myself. Sometimes we have to accept that there are things that come with the whole package of being autistic, and whether we like to have that be a part of us or not, it's just what comes with it. For example, today I had intention of recording this probably about 3 hours ago, and I fell asleep and took a little long nap. So got regrouped, and nonetheless, here we are recording this 3 hours later, almost towards the end of the day. And part of being autistic is the arch enemy of sleep. An autistic person sometimes has a lot of long battle with sleep, and sometimes it is an uphill battle or a never ending fight. Sometimes we're just so burnt out from the week's activities that we just have to rest and recharge sometimes. And sometimes our body tells us, as being autistic, that we can't handle anymore. And I think that was the case for me. I think, it said, "Hey, you can't do no more." And it shut basically. I took a long nap, and sometimes that happens. But the main thing is we don't let the the things that we need to do to stay well get out of hand, fall apart, or not get back under hand, such as taking medication, or not having the right elements to having a day of taking care of ourselves. Whether we like it or not, there are things we just have to do that may seem unconventional or not the right way of thinking of things. They may seem, that they may seem unpopular or unwanted. Um, they may seem like they don't follow the pattern of the normal populace. And sometimes we have to know that we are unique, and that things are the way they are, whether we like them or not. I don't like I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't like taking medication, and for most of 20 years or near 20 years, I was okay with it. And then I fell apart of it for the past 4 to 4.5 years. And now I realize that it is woven into the fabric of my life, whether I like it or not. It's not something that, is these side effects are manageable, but they're not pleasurable. And sometimes you just have to accept them for what they are. And if I'm tired and drowsy and, I need to take a nap from being burnt out all day or after all week, then so be it. I have to. And um, it's not something that I enjoy thoroughly, but I mean, if it happens, it happens, and we have to pick up the pieces and get back on our toes and move on. It's not easy to accept that sometimes. It's not easy to understand the fact that, life throws curveballs at us all the time for being autistic. It just throws, things that, you wouldn't think would happen, but sometimes when we have our moments, and some, as you know, autism is not perfect and it is not 100% foolproof. There are those moments where you fall out of line, or that you react negatively to something. Um, it does send a bad vibe your way. Um, it isn't the best vibe, but it does send a vibe, and it's not always the best vibe around the room or the area, but you have to learn how to recover and learn what you did wrong. And that's what happened for me. I had to learn the hard way that I had to do the right things in order to be well and in order to maintain my daily life of living. It's not something that I take lightly now. Before, I would take it lightly or pass it off and say, "Oh, that's just what we have to, that's what they're saying or what, they're telling me." But now I know it's very important and um very crucial to make sure that, I do the things that I need to do as an independent autistic adult, an autistic adult who lives independently, an autistic adult who is responsible for his daily living and his daily upkeep. And in fact, since doing so a week ago, things have gotten better. It's not always easy, and I wouldn't say it's a complete elimination of some things, but some things are greatly reduced, and some things are greatly adhered to. You can, take two and two and figure out what they are. Respectively, they are soda and medicine, but of course they don't mix well. So, trying to limit them and limit the soda definitely with making sure that the medicine medication regimen is adhered to correctly is very important and understood. Whether whether we feel what we want to feel, there is possibly there is a short term feeling good like a mania, but you know, for me, after that mania, I'm just miserable. And why would you do that to yourself? Why would you want to why would you want to be that way? So I think just understanding that and understanding how it makes me feel in the end is what is important and what had to be understood and actually having a reaction and seeing the monster that came out of me. And if you haven't seen it on my blog at Dustin'sDynastyUSA.com, my recent blog writing called Monster, I really encourage you to check that out because it really explains what I'm really feeling like when I'm in that monsteria state of feeling, and how not doing the right thing sometimes can cause that sort of reaction for me or towards me or around me, and what others feel or what others experience. And I don't want to go down that road again. I want to make a change for the better and do the right thing that I've known and has been proven for nearly 20 years, and not for the last four or so, been up and down and all around the town, and really understanding that, you have to do these things in order to live independently. You have to do what is necessary, um, you know, uh, what what is expected of you to be independently, and if not, you put yourself out on the line of losing your independence or having to be receiving intense services or extremely high levels of care of services, or even possibly be involved in the legal system. So there's a lot of ramifications I must understand that if I don't follow what I need to follow or do what I need to do, that it's important. Also important to understand the fact that if there's times that I need to recharge myself or recover from adverse stress or burnout or any type of feeling just because autism makes me feel being autistic makes me feel that way, then I have to understand the fact that I need to take that time for me. And if I do take that time and realize that time has passed and I cannot be angry at myself, I must do what I have to do, whether I like to do it or not. And, take the time to take care of me first and foremost. It's always important to take care of yourself before you take anybody else. You always think of the breathing apparatus. If it comes down and you can't, if you're putting it on another person first when the plane is in distress, then you're not putting it on yourself. You have to make sure that you're okay first. And I think that's the thing, you do so much for other people, or you think about everything else in the world, or you think about your interests, or you think about things that you want to focus on outside of your own mental health or physical health, and you show disregard to that mental or health or physical health, and then you're just going to crash eventually anyway. Yes, I did wake up around after dark today from my nap, but thankfully it's the weekend and I don't really have anything until midday tomorrow, so you know I can do a little bit of uptime and get this video done and get it uploaded to my my YouTube, and do things that I want to do, and not feel a penalty or a pain or an upset or anger or any of those harsh feelings that I feel because I didn't get to be able to do the things when I thought I could do them. My body only can tell me when they're going to do them, at least, as far as what my personal things are, and that I'm not going to adhere to something that I feel is a strict schedule. It's hard to, being autistic, it's hard to say that and actually do it. But, I think, being a week later from what had been a really adverse reaction, I think I've just accepted that sometimes in life, um, things happen, and that, you know, you're just going to, um, you're just going to have those things in life where they're just going to pull you astray, and you're going to have to recharge and recite yourself for what you have to do. And if that means you have to rest and recharge and take care of yourself in order to be well, then you have to do it. There's no question about it. There's no if ands or buts about it. You just have to do it. And I think that took the longest time for me to understand. And the second thing that took me to understand is that things like medication and definitely caffeine reduction, at least for now, reduction, are two elementary yet simple processes that need to be incorporated into my daily life in order to make my behavior smoother. Because when we talk about behavior, it's either being communication. Yes, behavior is communication, without a doubt. There was something that I had to be communicated, and in fact, it was. And things did get better because of it, but there was better ways about going about it, when maybe it was in a way the higher power was working for us, but in hindsight, we have to learn how to better be a better communicator as autistic people sometimes, or as myself being autistic, I need to be a better communicator. And that means, that I have to do what I have to do to take care of myself, whether that be take a nap, rest, recharge, take my medicine, make sure I'm reducing my caffeine intake, all of those things to make sure that I am taking care of myself in a proper and healthy way. It's just it's part of being autistic, whether we like it or not. Sometimes we have to accept the things that require us to manage ourselves being autistic, even though we may not agree with them, or maybe we don't enjoy every single thing about them. But in reality, they are what makes me, anyway, a very successful person. And it took me a very long time to see that, that I'm finally getting myself, the old self, back eventually, slowly, more and more and more and more as time goes on. And it's a beautiful thing, folks. It really is. So with that being said, I want to thank you for listening today. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. And be sure to give a follow to this channel if you haven't already. Subscribe, and be sure to like that video and tap that notification bell for more content. I want to thank you for listening again, and be sure to have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves and stay safe out there. We'll talk at you soon.